Welcome to By the Books, the podcast helping business owners navigate the complex world of business, tax, and bookkeeping. Now, to the owner and president of Kline, Lindsay Kline.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is Lindsay Kline with Kline, honest, accurate bookkeeping performed on time. I'm here today with Jeffrey Gonzales. I seriously almost forgot your name. Oh.
Wow.
No,
well, you
I'm
normally
kidding.
call me Payroll Guru.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, you are the Payroll Guru, but this is now the 5th episode, I think, that I've recorded today, and I've had several guests. And I just had this moment of, wait, who am I sitting with again?
Yeah. You just completely forgot about me?
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll forgive you this time. However, you've had several guests this morning, but I hear the first one you had was the best one of the day so far.
Yeah, see, Jeffrey loves me so much. He came for the first recording, and then he had to go to a meeting, and he came back.
Yeah.
And I feel very special that you came back.
You should, yeah. I don't do this for everyone.
It was a good episode, though.
Yeah.
You never know where we're going to go.
That's what I like. That's what I like about it.
Say what you said right before we started recording. You're like, well, I used to prepare for these.
Like the first podcast I did with you, I came with one page of like just good notes on what I wanted to do. And then the second time I kind of just jotted down some notes on what I wanted to cover. And what I've realized is that preparing for podcasts with you is absolutely useless because I could have what I want to talk about, but that's not necessarily the path Lindsay's taking. So we end up way over here. So now I don't. I just I have some things I know I want to say, and I just let the wind take us. So
that is so true.
Yeah.
I think I operate better that way.
You know what? Some people do. Yeah. You just but I mean, what is it? Do you crave chaos? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Yeah. I do too. People say that about me, so.
But, it's funny that, we got together on Saturday and kind of mapped out our 3 episodes that we're going to record together today. Mm-hmm. And then last night, I'm trying to map out my day, and I can't remember. I remember 2 of the 3, but I could not remember the third one. So I texted you.
Yeah.
I didn't even think you were going to respond because it was like midnight.
I was still awake, so I'm going to respond.
So, yeah. And you were like, remember... And I can't even remember now what you said, like getting customers.
Yeah, finding customers, getting customers.
And I was like, okay, I'm sure we talked about this in great length, but I do not remember.
Well, it's because you got 500 other things going on, Lindsay.
So I don't remember the context of this, but I'm assuming you do.
I do.
So run with it, Jeffrey.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the baton there. So...
This is what we do here at By the Books. We're very well prepared.
We're very well prepared. I was prepared. I had thought this through. So as you know, and for those who don't know, so you and I do business with each other outside of payroll and bookkeeping. So that being said, we're getting ready to establish a company with each other. And so through that process, obviously there's a lot of people that we need to work with because like we talk about in these podcasts all the time, we're not experts and we hire experts to handle that. So CPAs and attorneys has been primarily, and then we've also been working a lot with real estate agents too. And so in the last, how long has it been? 3 weeks?
Yeah,
2+ weeks, probably 3. We've met a lot of people. We've corresponded with probably 20 people, and met with a good number of those.
And these are all CPAs and attorneys primarily.
Yeah, and professionals. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we were talking about on Saturday when we met was some of the vast differences between these individuals after we make that initial point of contact. So we're reaching out. They didn't call us, right? So we said, okay, we need an attorney. Okay, we need a CPA. And we kind of proactively reached out. Good business.
I love how you say
to a couple people.
I'm pretty sure
it's you. Actually, it's you. I need to quit taking credit for that. No, I was going to get to that in a minute because you and I have very distinct roles in our business. And yours is networking because that's what you do. But so you I mean, 3 weeks ago, sent out like 50 emails, right? to different people asking and telling them what we're doing. Great explanation. And we received some very different responses from people. And that's what we wanted to talk about, because we are very much leaning in the direction of certain people.
Yeah.
And have completely disregarded other people just based on how they made that initial response.
Yes.
And then, the responses after that. So let's dig into that, because I feel like a lot of people that are listening to your show, they're business owners or salespeople or something where this is going to apply.
So we just had this one response last night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay, that I forward to you, and I'm like,
it was warm and fuzzy.
No.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah,
this is so warm and fuzzy.
How warm this guy is. What was that response?
So if I remember correctly, he was just like, yeah, you can book something on my calendar.
Yeah. And sent you a link, right? Like, here's my link.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. And that was just, I mean, and then also, I don't remember for sure, but that one, he took a few days to respond, didn't he?
Yeah, because I sent all those out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's taking you this long to even respond to my email. And there was no like, it's great to talk to you or meet you. Can't wait to, dive into that more. There was like no warm fuzzy at all.
Nothing. It was not even a full paragraph. It was like 2 sentences. Like, thank you for reaching out, Lindsay. If you want to schedule time with me, here's my link.
Yeah.
Really, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there was no warm and fuzzy.
There was no warm and fuzzy. And then yesterday we also got an email from somebody who's in financing too.
Yes.
Remember that? You saw that email and responded to it because you reached out saying, hey, I want to connect with you. And then his response was very much like, no, let's not connect. What was it? Like, that was...
I don't remember now.
I forget exactly what he said, but essentially the gist of it is like, yeah, let's talk about how I can give you money. Like, if you're ready, like, let's talk about that. Like, I want to be your financer. And you're like, well, hold on a second, buddy. Like, I just want to meet you and see if we even jive here.
Yeah.
And so his response was better than the first one, but also kind of like...
Yeah. I know. Yeah. If you get the impression right away that they're just after what you can do for them, which, I mean, goes back to that scarcity mindset, emotional intelligence, all these things we've talked about on this podcast, they all intertwine.
They do. They do. So, but what about the good ones?
So the one that we're most leaning towards right now is... the attorney that set up a meeting with us.
Yeah.
He has not yet, even to this day, breathed a word about I don't even know what he charges.
I don't either.
He has never said a word about what we would need to pay.
We also haven't asked, but...
We have not asked.
We just interviewed.
We'll just get all the free stuff. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no. Get all the free stuff again.
Sure, yeah.
But he did a Zoom with us. He was very thorough, like gave us a lot of good advice on things we need to think about, like beyond even just the scope of law.
Yeah.
Gave us a lot of things to think about logistically. And he even called his partner in.
Because once he found out like what we were doing and what direction we wanted to go in, he was like, oh, there's a guy that works here that does that all day.
Yeah.
And called him.
Yeah,
like, hey, can you come down here real quick?
Yeah. And he had him on. Yeah. And like it got to the point where I felt bad that we were keeping him on Zoom so long. Yeah. So I was like, listen, I don't want to take all, but I feel like he would have just kept going for a while.
Yeah. He would have.
So that, I think, is the person we're most leaning towards right now.
I agree. And not only that, but he also, like, emailed us.
Yes.
Well, how many questions? There's, like, 30-plus questions.
Well, and because I had specifically said, we're setting up a partnership, and Jeffrey and I have both heard or experienced other situations where partners didn't go well, mainly because communication at the beginning wasn't there.
Yeah.
So we told him, could you just... kind of guide us in what do we need to talk about? What questions do we need to hash out? What expectations do we need to lay out? All of that. And he sent us a very extensive list of things we needed to make sure we discussed.
Very thorough.
Yes.
Like there was even a question in there about how do we want to handle it if one of us gets a felony, right? Like, right? I mean, it was super thorough.
Yes.
Like, do you want this to cause an event that would break up? Like, do you want to separate from this person if they have a felony? Like, it was crazy how detailed, but all for free.
Yeah.
From one call.
Right. He has not asked us for anything.
Nothing.
So that I really appreciated his abundancy mindset,
Yeah.
his willingness to, really, I could tell it comes from a place of genuinely wanting to help.
Yeah.
I definitely got that sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, definitely a big difference. And then we have the guy that we can't even get the meeting set up because he doesn't even respond, So it's just like we have the whole spectrum here.
We do. We've seen them all now.
Okay, so Lindsay's side tangent, warning.
Okay, let's go.
So, we've talked about emotional intelligence.
Yes, we have.
Which this all plays into this, right? It seems to be our favorite topic right now. But it's really on the forefront of my mind, as you know, because I'm about to lead a mastermind.
Yeah, you are.
Provided we don't get iced out.
We're going to.
So this mastermind that I've been studying for I don't know how long. I have bought so many books, listened to so many audio books about this. I've been mapping out like the whole like exercises for each part of the topic. I've broken it out into 4 segments, and I'm trying to have like a story with each one, a group exercise with each one, a homework exercise with each one, right? I'm really pouring my heart and soul into this.
This is everything you have, like, in this thing.
Yes, so much time putting in this. And then I hear Ice Storm is coming. The night before I'm supposed to do this mastermind coming up in 2 days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, Ice Storm is supposed to come in.
Yeah.
And we possibly might just be not even having this thing because it sounds like we're not going to be able, we're in Texas. We don't deal with
I was
ice.
going to say, well,
I'm sure if we were in New York, this would be no big deal.
Nothing.
But this storm that's coming tomorrow night, it's going to shut the city down.
It's going to shut everything down for a while. And so there's pros and cons for Texas, right? Con being if it snows at all. If somebody sees snow, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, school's canceled. Work is canceled.
So I'm guessing Thursday and Friday, there's going to be no school. Everything's getting canceled. And all of this whole mastermind that I've poured my heart and soul into is going to get canceled. Now, of course, at some point we'll do it.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
But still, sad.
It is sad.
Anyway, I don't even remember where I was going with all of that.
Emotional intelligence. We've been talking about emotional intelligence a lot.
Okay, well, I called you and told the story, but I'll tell the listeners.
Okay.
So there is a guy that both Jeffrey and I have remarked about maybe just the lack of emotional intelligence there.
Yes.
Just because of some interactions we've had, which I won't get into detail, just in case he were to listen to this.
Probably does.
So I had a meeting with him yesterday, and it was eye-opening to me because, I think I knew intellectually that if somebody doesn't have a lot of emotional intelligence, it probably is because of a background where no one was really there to guide them, right?
Yeah. There's a gap there somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. But that really hit home for me yesterday when I went into this meeting. I mentioned the project that we were thinking about working on. It reminded him of something in his past. And he started talking about, it started out casually, but eventually it kind of delved into just basically sharing his childhood.
Yeah.
Which was horrible. And I'm sitting here listening to what this guy has been through. And my heart is breaking for this guy. And I'm tearing up. He starts tearing up. We're sitting at the Black Walnut Cafe crying.
Just.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it put a whole different perspective on that whole situation. For me, anyway. Like, listening to what he's been through and going, okay, I think I knew that there's usually a reason people do the things that they do.
Yeah.
They're conditioned. We're largely conditioned by the environment that we grew up in, right?
Yeah.
And if you didn't have anyone to tell you this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do, you shouldn't say that in these situations, or here's why that's not okay, how do you know?
Fair enough. Yeah.
But you had an interesting perspective when I told you this story, because you were like, well, he needs it even more. Like, Jeffrey, you weren't there. You weren't crying.
No. But I mean, so I definitely come from the frame of mind that like everybody's gone through something. Like nobody acts the way they do just because, right? And positive or negative, it works both ways. But you see videos of like people having these like flip outs in public and yelling at people, and like it's probably definitely not where this whole thing started for them, right? And so everybody has a background. And so I think that the ones who have gone through like some type of trauma would benefit more from it, right? Because
from training specifically on emotional intelligence?
Training on specifically on emotional intelligence and just communication in general, right? Because sometimes it just doesn't connect right, which I guess boils down to emotional intelligence anyway. But so I think that they need it more, like, honestly. I mean, because I've had trauma. I'm sure you have. Like, almost everybody's had trauma in some way or form. And it's about how you cope with that. Mm-hmm. And even though I may be suffering inside, that's not for me to push on other people.
Okay, touche.
That's the way I think about it. I could
imagine, and I feel very blessed that I don't have a lot of this trauma that a lot of people are carrying.
Yeah.
But I could imagine, I can't say it experientially, I'm just intellectually thinking about if you've been through something really tough, and by and large, people are just hurt. Like it translates to hurt, right? Relationships translate to hurt because you're just used to being hurt, right? If you're just seeing people as a source of hurt, that's probably quite difficult to overcome, where you can actually get to the point of reaching an abundant mindset. Yeah. And they might not always be able to reach that mindset. Yes, I agree.
Because of what they've gone through. Like, they just don't see the world through those lenses that other people do.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I see it a lot less black and white, I guess, than I have in the past.
Yeah. This was eye-opening for you then.
Well, yes.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
But that's part of your development as emotional intelligence, because you're pretty much the expert, I would say.
Really?
Well, I mean, not only are you good at it, and I haven't known you for decades, but like, I'm sure you've gotten better at it, but you're also like from an education background too, like, researching and setting up masterminds. So like, as expert as it gets, what else do you expect? But even you, who've been working on this for how long, even you are having those little breakthroughs. Like, that was a breakthrough, really. Kind of seeing that other side of like, oh, maybe it's not as simple as I thought it was. This guy might have gone through something.
Yeah. But I think that by and large, that the people that are doing things that are maybe not so kosher, there's probably a reason why.
I agree. Yeah. And I think it's easy to forget that.
Yes.
Because just in the heat of the moment. But also that means you have to have more emotional intelligence too to combat that. Yes. Because they might be having a problem.
And I think that helps a lot when you're offended by somebody or something somebody does. That you can think about the fact that you don't know what that person has been through, what they've experienced, what they're carrying that we have no idea about. That goes a long way to just acting in an understanding way towards other people.
I try to be a nice person all the time.
And you are.
But there have been times where I was not, though.
See,
and I've had bad days.
Okay.
Where I've just like let off on the wrong person.
Okay, I can't even imagine you doing that.
It's 100% customer service on the phone, which is not good because I have been in that seat before. But I just really get irritated when I'm waiting on the phone for 3 hours and then you tell me you can't do anything. And so that's usually when I get angry. It happened yesterday.
I want to see it. Can you next time call me? I want to experience what angry Jeffrey looks like. You do not, however, want to experience hangry Lindsay.
Hangry? Did you say hangry?
Angry.
Angry. I'm sure hangry Lindsay is not funny either.
No, not that either. Oh my gosh. And as you know, I'm doing this detox right now.
Yeah. So actually, you've been great. You haven't been mean to me.
I'm trying not to get hungry.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm on the bunny diet, the bunny rabbit diet.
And that means what?
I eat like a bunny rabbit.
Anything a bunny can
eats it, that's what I'm eating, basically.
Yeah, that's good.
So I told you about my thyroid thing. I think we talked about that on the air. In fact, it was the emotional intelligence episode because we were talking about the doctor and her approach and not thinking that I was taking it seriously, right? And then I told you I was like not being completely committal because I didn't know what she wanted me to do yet.
You want me to commit before you tell me what I'm committing to? Like, exactly. Calm down here. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So she finally laid out the plan, right? Which is basically twice a week I go in. They do health coaching. Okay. Which is basically them lecturing me about what I ate. Right? Mm-hmm. Which is never going to match their standards, because even though I feel like I'm eating like a bunny rabbit, apparently it's still not quite up to par.
Got it.
She's trying to get me to cook my food.
But you love to cook.
I do not like to cook.
I know.
And so I'm trying to explain to her in the Lindsay way, like, okay, by the time you shop for it, plan it, cook it, and clean up after it, you've probably made an investment, if you averaged it out, of 2 hours a day to cook. Yeah. There are so many things I would rather do with 2 hours a day of my life. I mean, take that over the course of a month, a year, a lifetime. I'm like, read another book, learn a language, start another business, start another podcast. I pluck my toenails out. Like, literally, there is such a long list of things I would rather do than cook. So I'm trying to explain this to her.
And how did that go?
She was like, well, if you cook things yourself, you get to control the oil that's used, because at a restaurant, you don't. I don't care. I will eat the trash oil. I mean, I get what you're trying to do. I just can't do. I'm just sorry. I can do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Like, can we work out a plan that's like, okay, at Chipotle, here's what you order. At Zoe's, here's what you order. Like, she's not getting it. She just, every time I go, it's like, here, let me show you this recipe. You can show me all day and I will nod and smile. But at the end of the day, what you really need to be giving me is, here's the Kava menu and here's what to order and not order. That's what you should be doing with me, because that is going to be the most helpful. Yeah. Anyway, so that's how the health coaching sessions are going.
Has her emotional intelligence gotten better?
Okay, so, and I will say this is probably bar and large with most of the health community. I have all the admiration in the world for the people that are really into it. They're dedicated. They live it, breathe it. Yeah. Their struggle is not the same as mine.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that. Because that was a funny thing that you said the other day about this.
It is not. Yeah. Okay, because I told you, and I may have even told this on the air before. The other day, I'm at a business lunch. And this was before my detox when I was doing keto. Okay. So I was still trying to be good, but I was, I'd take a couple bites of stuff, right? Yeah. Not going overboard.
To be expected.
So, whiskey cake. Have you been there? Oh, you have been there, because we went together. Yeah. That's right. Was that your first time there?
Yeah, my first time eating there, yeah.
Oh, I introduced you to whiskey cake.
You did.
Anyway.
Now I want whiskey cake.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's good. So, if you ever eat a whiskey cake, this is my public service announcement. You must order the whiskey cake for dessert.
Even if you're not eating a whiskey cake,
just get the whiskey cake.
You need to go get a whiskey cake.
It is fabulous. Yeah. Anyway, now we're talking about food again. See, this happens every time.
Every single time.
So we order, there's 3 of us at the table. We order a whiskey cake to share. I just take my 2 bites because I'm being good. Mm-hmm. Then they only eat 2 or 3 bites. So, and those suckers are huge.
They're big.
They're huge. Yeah, so there is still quite a significant amount of whiskey cake left over.
There's probably half left.
And the waiter comes and asks, do you want a to-go box for that? Now, I said no, because I knew if I take that, I will eat the whole thing. And it probably won't even make it to the car. I will eat that. So I was like, no, let them take it. Yeah. Except they said no, too. So here I am watching the waiter carry this cake. And I know it's just going to go in the trash.
It did.
And my heart was breaking. Jeffrey, I felt like I was losing a family member.
You did.
That beautiful cake, that amazing cake is about to be thrown away. Now, do you think this lady that's talking to me about portioning out my salads, she's like, oh, just get 5 containers, all the same size. You just put your lettuce and your cucumbers and your broccoli, and they just all fit so nicely in your refrigerator. That's fantastic. But is your struggle the same as mine?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. On no level do I think this lady understands the psychological, like, horrible relationship I have with food. It's like my best friend, and I truly mourn with sadness the loss of it. I don't think she understands the problem.
So she has never watched a piece of cake get taken away by the waiter and just and felt that.
No,
like,
I don't think she has.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think she understands the struggle at all.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like I need obviously some kind of psychological therapy here. I mean, this is clearly on a psychological level. I have a really unhealthy relationship with food here, right? And so giving me the logistics of recipes and containers to use, all fine and good, but this is really not dealing with the problem, I don't think. But whatever, I'll do the 3-week detox.
Yep.
I can eat like a bunny for 3 weeks. We'll see how this goes, but I'm not going to cook it.
Yeah.
I'm not cooking it. It's just not going to happen.
How far in are you now? Because you're like...
I think it's a week today.
Yeah? Okay. I knew it's been a little bit, so you're a third of the way through.
So I need to find the health person that understands.
I feel like there's got to be one out there
I would
somewhere.
hope so.
Yeah.
So if you're that person,
Call
like
us.
you understand, I don't need recipes and like logistics of how to cook healthy food. Like my issue is not that I can't figure out a recipe. You know what I mean?
I have Google.
Like I have a
Google.
phone here
Yeah.
with every recipe I could ever want pulled up at my fingertips.
Yeah.
And I'm intelligent enough to read it and follow it. I'm
That's not
actually
the
a
problem.
pretty good cook when I do cook.
Okay. All right.
Which is rare and few and far between. But when it happens, I'm pretty good at it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not a skill set issue. Right?
It's not a skill set.
no,
You have the skills. You
anyway.
just don't have the desire.
I have gotten us so far off topic. I don't even remember how I got on this tangent.
We were
but-
talking about your doctor and emotional intelligence. How she doesn't even understand your struggle in the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is true. She
Yeah.
does not. So in no way do I feel like she truly understands how to get to the root of my issue. But that's okay. She can at least hopefully help me with this thyroid issue. And I'll probably have to find somebody else that's probably a psychologist help me deal with the relationship with food so that I can look at a piece of cake that's getting thrown in the trash and be totally fine with it. That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Well, I would have to say that so if you do see a whiskey cake specifically getting thrown away and you don't feel any type of like, come on, I could have brought that home. Like, if you don't feel anything, then I think there's something wrong with
I've
you.
arrived. No. No. I will feel like I would have arrived if I can look at that and just...
And be fine with that? Yeah.
Because there's so many things that I even throw away that I have no emotional attachment to whatsoever.
Like rabbit food.
Yes, I think I could throw rabbit food away.
It wouldn't bother you at all. You just toss it in
yeah.
the trash. You'd be like, meh, meh. Meanwhile, your doctor is crying like, oh my God, that was lettuce.
Oh my gosh, this happened, Jeffrey. Oh, I forgot to tell you the best part.
What?
She gives me a container, huge container. Like, I don't know how many ounces this thing is. Big tub of this powder that I'm supposed to have every day.
Okay.
And when I thought I was supposed to have this every day, I was thinking like a spoonful. But no, I opened this thing up and the
scoop?
scooper thing.
Yeah.
It's like a half a cup.
What are you supposed to do with it?
Oh my gosh. So, she's telling me, she's giving me all these recipes, mixing it into smoothies, or you can mix it with coconut water.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Sure.
I'm
can
the
do that.
person that downs the apple cider vinegar shots. Okay?
I know this.
I am perfectly fine downing something that tastes absolutely disgusting, clearly, because apple cider vinegar is nasty. But I will take it. Mm-hmm. This stuff, oh my gosh. Horrible.
What's wrong with it?
And it's not just the taste. Well, first of all, I hate the taste of vanilla. And it's
vanilla flavored? Okay.
And it's strong. It's not like you can mask it.
Okay.
But also it's got that chalky consistency, right?
Yeah.
It is so hard.
I could
so
see
hard
that.
to eat. I tried it a couple of different ways. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. So I go to my next health session and she's asking me, how's it going? Like, I'm not eating that stuff. Give me a pill instead. Something I can swallow because it's not happening. Right?
Did you win?
And I guess this is why she didn't like me circling the 6 out of 10 on my level of seriousness about this, because it's just some things I'm not doing. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. It's nasty.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, well, let me show you how to do this smoothie. See, here again. You're not understanding.
The smoothie's not the problem.
No, there's no smoothie that's going to mask this nastiness. I'm sorry. It's just not. So she makes the smoothie. She gives me some. I'm tasting it. I'm like, it still tastes like vanilla. It's just, I don't like it.
So what are you going to do?
So when she finally realizes I'm really not going to drink this, she had that moment when you were talking about throwing the bunny food away. Oh. She was like, all of those vitamins and minerals are just going to get thrown away? It was like, see, that feeling right there, I should have told her. That feeling right there is what I have about cake. Now you understand.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Yes. So I think I'm just going to gift her the 2 giant tubs of powder. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Your favorite thing. Because I am not.
Enjoy your vitamins and minerals.
Enjoy it. Like, you just need to give me one I can pop and swallow. I'm good with.
So what you need to do is replace flour with that mixture for your next whiskey cake, right? Like, just make that into a whiskey cake and you'll be fine.
That would work. I would not eat it.
Yeah.
It's nasty. So disgusting.
I was trying to help you eat it, but I guess it would help you not eat it too.
That would help me not eat it. It's nasty.
Oh my goodness.
And then they're having me do this infrared sauna. Have you done it?
I have not. I've seen it though. It looks awesome. Why?
I hate it. First of all, I hate being hot.
Oh, does it make you feel hot?
Yeah, it's like 150 degrees.
Does. Yeah, okay.
It's hot.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you're supposed to be sweating out it's supposed to be detoxifying, right? So you're sweating out stuff.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
And they'll ask you if you want music or if you want meditation. I'm like, sure, let's do the meditation. Because you can't bring anything in with you. Mm-hmm. So there's no phone, there's no notepad.
You're just laying there.
You're just there. You can't even lay down. There's no room to lay down. You have to sit.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
In a microwave. You're basically just sitting there
in the microwave with nothing to do. And
Understood.
So it's like, all right, well, this is your meditation. Fine. Okay, I could probably use some meditation time.
Give me a minute.
Yeah. It's so hard, though. All I'm thinking about is, I'm planning my mastermind. I'm figuring out what else we need to do with the business. Like, there is no meditation going on. I'm like, next time I'm just going to tell her, can you just play my audiobook?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I suck at meditation is what I'm trying to say.
You could listen to an emotional intelligence audiobook.
That is exactly what I'm listening to right now because I'm still preparing for my mastermind that's probably not going to happen in 2 days. So, yes, I'm listening to Emotional Business.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that you were listening to that. Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
The best one I think I've listened to so far on the topic of emotional intelligence is EQ Applied. Because it's like practical tips for how to implement everything, right? Like, how do you increase your self-awareness? And they actually give you exercises, how to increase your self-awareness. Things like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's probably been the best one I've read so far, or listened to. But I did buy the real book, too, because I was going to take it with me, because I'm offering, as part of my mastermind, resources for all these different topics.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I'm super excited to go whenever it happens. Yeah. Even if it gets rescheduled, I will be there because it's going to be a fun.
Anyway,
we should record it.
What? Oh, the mastermind? Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Actually, that would be great. We can put it on my YouTube channel.
Okay. We'll
People
have to
could
work
be so impressed with how prepared I was. You know me. I don't prepare for anything.
I know. You're so proud of yourself. I finally prepared for something.
And then it gets canceled. My goodness.
So you know the joke, like, Lindsay will prepare when hell freezes over. Like, that's literally what happened. You prepared.
As hell freezes over.
And it's about to freeze. I think this is your fault.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, all right, let's reel it in.
Yeah.
Let's reel it in. What were we talking about?
So we were talking about...
Get me back on topic.
We were talking about businesses, and really that was a long way of explaining the same thing. So, because out of all of these people that we've met with, like some practical information. So like, what are the top things that you've enjoyed out of this process from prospective service providers, attorneys, and CPAs? What are some things that you think that business owners should replicate, or people in sales, or any of that? Like, what's been your favorite parts?
I am a huge fan, and a lot of business owners think I'm crazy. Give out free information.
Why is that?
Because it will come back to you. Who is it that we're thinking about using and actually paying?
Yeah.
Is the guy that gave us free information.
Yeah. Well, same with the realtors too, right? Because we met with several realtors, and there were a few that like handed us information. They're like, here, like, this is what you do. Google this, like, do this and the other. And you're like, I want to work with this guy.
Of course.
Yeah, so I agree.
mean, that's very much the philosophy I take. There are plenty of people that I've met with that had not signed any contract with me. I just, and sometimes we even get into their books. I'll say, hey, here's some things I see. This needs to be cleaned up. This needs to go here, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm doing those consultative sessions and may or may not ever hear from them again, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I am trying to practice that abundancy mindset.
Yeah. Exactly. So give away information. That made us feel super comfortable. Yeah, for sure. So what else?
And even if that person you're talking to doesn't end up using you, they will go talk to their friends.
Well, and that's the point, right? So like, so-and-so, like, this isn't the best solution for you. That's fine. I'm not the best solution for everybody. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be as much of a resource as I can be.
We should do an episode drilling down on what that attorney gave us with all those questions.
Do you want to?
How to build a partnership agreement.
Yeah.
And we're in the thick of it. So we're not coming as experts. We're coming as people that are like trying to figure it out.
Yeah. We're breaking things, deciding what's going to happen if I get a felony. By the way, your answer was you're cutting me off, right? Like, that's it. If I get convicted, it's over.
Where did we land on that?
We landed on the option. It's a discretionary decision.
Yeah, you're out.
Yeah, I know. I figured that's what's going to happen. You say that now. You're like, no, of course not. Of course I want to work with you. You're like, nope, you're out of here. Hopefully that's not the situation that comes up, though.
Let's hope you don't get a felony.
I was going to say, like,
let's just hope we don't have this situation come up at all, Jeffrey. I love how you're talking like it's already a
like it's already in the process. Like, I'm already being convicted.
Maybe I need to Google you.
We talked about that earlier, remember? I'm not on there.
How many pages did you have to go through?
I was the third page.
Third page.
I was a third page.
So I'm happy to say that Jeffrey Googled me.
He did.
And I was number 2 under the cricketer.
There's a famous cricketer.
Not only did we learn that there's a cricketer named Lindsay Kline, but we learned the word cricketer.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a word. A cricket player.
It's cricketer, Jeffrey.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. So you come in right after him, and then you're like the next 2.
Oh yeah.
And then there was something else, and then you have a few more, and then like all of your podcasts come up after that. So
you need
mostly the whole first page.
Yeah. See, it would have been better for you had you updated your LinkedIn profile picture.
Oh my goodness, are you going to start with me?
See, this is why your rankings are so low. Nobody wants to click on your LinkedIn.
People are like, who is that guy? Who is that guy?
You can't even take a decent picture.
Actually, you'll be proud of me. I talked to a photographer last week.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
You're getting it updated.
I am. Well, there's a whole other thing going on, but the gist of the matter is that I will be hiring a photographer for somebody else, for something else that's going on, and then I'm going to sneak in and get a headshot.
Okay.
Because I'm cheap, right? So like, if I'm gonna pay this photographer to be there for 3 hours, I'm getting my headshot. Okay? I don't care. They're not there to even take pictures of me, but I'm getting my headshot because that's what.
I feel like you could pick up your phone right now and take a selfie, and it would be a better photo than what you have up there right now.
First of all, that photo is a selfie.
Okay, I stand corrected. Have someone else take the photo of you.
What you're trying to say is I'm not photogenic, is what you're trying to say.
I'm just trying to say you need a new profile picture.
I will put another one on there.
Had you done that, you probably would be ranking better on Google. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. Enough said. You know what? At the very least, I could just put a picture up there of like something where I'm not wearing like a suit and tie, right? Like I could put something
Of course.
fun.
Of course you could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
I think
doesn't
that's
have
what
to be
I'll do.
stuffy.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do.
You've inspired me. I'm gonna update mine too now.
Yeah, you have a good picture. Oh, but you have new ones coming.
I have new photos. Oh, I haven't
seen these yet. Well, I was here. Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh yeah,
but I haven't seen any of the pictures
because they aren't that great. But
that's a subject for another one.
So I'm already talking to another photographer about redoing that whole photo session. But maybe I should wait till after the bunny detox so that I'll, lose some pounds before then.
And we can collaborate on the time, right? Because we can hire one photographer.
Are you trying to get a free headshot out of mine too?
No. I'm trying to give you a free headshot out of what I'm paying for anyway.
Oh,
see?
Okay. Yeah. I totally will show up.
You have to show up to the park though. It'll be outside. But it'll be fun.
That's perfectly fine. I'll be there. You just tell me when.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah. No, I think it's a great idea. I'm just gonna have all of my friends show up, and I hired you for 3 hours. You're doing whatever I tell you to do.
All right, I'm in. I can do this.
All right.
Then I'll have one before detox, during detox, and then after detox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this.
If I eat this bunny food for 3 weeks, I better be looking good after that.
You only have 2 more weeks.
Yeah, well, here's the sad part. It probably isn't going to end after that because then they're supposed to be reintroducing foods to figure out what's causing the inflammation that's led to this thyroid issue.
Yeah.
And I'm so scared that they're going to say it's cheese.
Oh, but you don't even like cheese, right?
I love cheese. The worst case scenario here is they tell me, I'm sorry, your inflammation is because of dairy. I'll be like, no!
They have vegan cheese.
Oh my gosh, Jeffrey, I know you did not just say that. That is not cheese. By the way, Velveeta is also not cheese.
I'm not a fan of Velveeta.
Oh, it's horrible. It's plastic.
People love Velveeta. I'm just not I've never been a fan.
Not cheese.
Yeah.
I'm talking real cheese.
Yes. You want a block of cheddar and you just want to eat it just like that, right? Just unwrap half of it.
You joke.
I'm not joking.
I so would.
I believe you will.
So, all right. Let's reel this in again. How can people get a hold of you? They're obviously going to have to type in your web address.
Oh, wow.
You're third page on Google.
You're going to put me on blast right now. So you'll find me and my awesome, cool, updated profile picture on LinkedIn, Jeffrey Gonzales in Dallas. So I guess that's the easiest way to find me.
But what about your website?
But my
because they're going to have to type it in because they're not going to be able to find you on Google.
The best way to get a hold of me is by calling me 214-551-4650, or they can check us out at payentry.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. And how do you spell Gonzales?
So with an S, Gonzales.
There you go. So that's probably part of the reason why it's hard to find you on Google, because there's about 50,000 ways to spell Gonzales.
Yeah, there is.
And Jeffrey, for that matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My goodness. Yes, there is several ways.
Who spells it with a G?
I don't want to get into the right ways and the wrong ways to spell Jeffrey because that's not the right way.
I don't think you and I would be friends if you spelled it with a G.
Really? You feel that passionate about this? See, and I don't mind the G as much as the E-R-Y at the end. Because for me, it should be R-E-Y.
So spell it the wrong way again?
J-E-F-F-E-R-Y.
E-R-Y. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's pretty common.
Weird.
It's pretty common.
It's like Uri.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of Jeffrey, it's Jeff Uri.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine's an A-Y.
Yeah.
So mine's a little weird too.
I feel like that's pretty common now.
Everyone says Lindsay, but wouldn't it technically be Lindsay? Or Lindsay?
I think Zay. Now I'm going to call you Lindsay.
Oh, what are you calling me?
Lindsay. Lindsay.
So, yeah, mine's a little weird.
Yeah. Nah, it's fine.
What can you do?
Nothing.
I guess I couldn't blame it on you if you were a G, because it wasn't you that picked it. So, I guess I would still have to take you as a friend.
It's a fair thought. If I really disliked it that much, I could always just change it, right?
That's
it's not that hard.
So I guess I could still not be your friend because of the G.
This just in.
Thankfully, it's spelled correctly, so we're all good.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyway, even to the end, we're going off on tangents here. This is Lindsay Kline with Kline. Honest, accurate bookkeeping performed on time. You can find us at sakline.com, SAKLINE.com. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, have a great week.
By the Books is presented by Kline. honest, accurate bookkeeping performed on time. For more information on Kline services or to get a hold of Lindsay, visit Kline.com or email info@Kline.com.
The information provided on this website and podcast does not and is not intended to constitute legal advice. Instead, all information, content, and materials available are for general information purposes only. Information provided by Kline may not constitute the most up-to-date legal or other information. Listeners should contact their attorney to obtain advice with respect to any particular legal matter and should refrain from acting on the basis of this information without first seeking legal advice from counsel in the relevant jurisdiction. Only your individual attorney can provide assurances that the information contained herein and your interpretation of it is applicable or appropriate to your particular situation.